Y'all, Amazon isn't even that bad. Hey, I have a question. Have you been experiencing a long drought? You know what I mean. Because your romantic partner is on the other side of the world and you also live with someone, so you have needs, but maybe you need to be more discreet about it. No, not you. Are you maybe someone who's not dating because everyone else seems to be trash, or maybe because you never leave your house and you work from home and you DoorDash all of your meals and you Instacart all of your groceries and you're like, how am I ever gonna meet somebody because I never leave my house? But we all still have needs, right? Well, I've got something for you. Today's sponsor, thank you so much, is Bellesa. My friends at Bellesa are giving away free toys and gift cards. Bellesa is a by women company for all things sexual wellness, and their mission is for everyone to embrace, explore, and celebrate their sexuality. So again, giving away free gift cards and toys. The link is going to be in my description, and I'm going to show you a few of the ones that I have. First up is Thump, which I think this case is the most discreet because it just looks like an eyeglass case and it does it all. Vibrates, suctions, thumps, hello, true feel vibrations, and innovative thump technology. And like all of the toys, it's waterproof and is made from a premium quality silicone. Next up, we have Miss Air Vibe, very cute. And obviously it starts off in this shape, but it does not have to remain in this shape. Okay, you can do with it what you want. But she does dual stimulation, okay? Don't let the case fool you. She packs a punch. And of course, waterproof and rechargeable. Last but certainly not least is the Pebble, which is my favorite because she is ergonomically built to fit perfectly in your hand. And even in that small size, she still does suction and vibration that you can control independently, and there's no annoying pattern modes. So again, you've seen the packaging, super discreet, all different sizes, something to fit everyone's need. Waterproof, so they're easy to clean because that's very important to keep those clean. They also have a 1-year warranty from the date of purchase. So check out the link below so you can get yourself a gift card or a toy. And thank you so much to my friends at Bellesa for sponsoring today's video. Now back to the mess. Hey, hi, hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Jess. We're in a little bit of a different setup. So I'm trying to speak up. My roommate's not here right now. And hopefully the fan is just a calming background ambient noise, but we're talking about the big, the bad, Amazon. Yes, this is an ongoing conversation. It's not new. I recently saw a TikTok. Someone was talking about people needing to stop using Amazon, and it was a very like accusatory, basically, you people need to stop using Amazon, you're lazy, you're terrible, it's so easy to stop using Amazon. And I'm here to add nuance to that and also talk about one of their many companies that they own, Audible, and something that's going on. So that's what we're chatting about today. So Amazon is, you know who Amazon is. Everyone knows about Amazon worldwide. I'm not going to give you the history. It's owned by Jeff Bezos, the clown, who is a billionaire, and he sucks. And Amazon has grown so much in the last, I forgot when Amazon started. I used Amazon way back in the day for books. I think that's what it started as. But obviously in the last decades, they have grown and expanded their services, sped up and slowed down their services, and also acquired many companies. And that's the whole point. This is not to defend Amazon, like, no, people should just be able to use that and do what they want. I mean, at the end of the day, you can do what you want. I think it is worthwhile to encourage people that they don't need to haul a bunch of books because they're cheap on Amazon. I think most of us know they can sell books that cheap because they have so many other things that they're selling that they can lose money on the books, and regular bookstores cannot do that. So it is worth speaking about that for traditionally published books that encourage people to, for a Barnes & Noble, a Books A Million, a local independent bookstore, a Waterstones, whatever that you have in your area. Also, of course, this goes without saying that to use your library, okay? Everybody doesn't have access to a good library, and some people do want to buy books and own them, and that's fine. So I just put that there because there's always going to be somebody like in the comments, okay? However, read books Then it gets complicated with Kindle Unlimited, which is a service you can pay for through Amazon Monthly that thousands of indie authors publish their books through Kindle Unlimited. Now, it's not fair that they have, because I think when you publish your book with Kindle Unlimited, there's like an exclusivity clause. It can only be published there. I believe the authors get paid by page read. So if you read the book or only 100 pages, they're not getting paid like one flat fee for the book being, you know, borrowed from Kindle Unlimited. And also, it obviously lowers the barrier of entry, right? So because publishing is very expensive, everybody can't get into traditional publishing or publishing your own books independently and like printing them. All of that is very expensive. So if you're able to write your story, maybe spend your money on editors, whatever, maybe a cover, but you can upload it to Kindle Unlimited and reach a wide audience because so many people have it, that's going to be the better route for some people. And yes, there are downsides to that, but that's a major thing, that a lot of indie authors, their books are on KU, and sometimes that's the only way you can read them. You cannot get them at the library, can't find them in a bookstore, you can only read them on Kindle Unlimited, and then sometimes the author may have copies that you can buy from them. So again, just saying quit Amazon is not that simple, and that does affect authors. And if we get outside of reading, it is Amazon, I can't remember, let's see. Besides the companies, which I'm going to get into, Amazon owns it's called Amazon Web Services, Amazon Web Services, which offers inexpensive cloud computing services. And I will look up and find if I can see the percentage of the internet that uses that. So even if you somehow don't shop at any company owned by Amazon, you don't read Kindle Unlimited books, you don't buy anything from Amazon, somehow, some way, you may still be giving them money. And that's not trying to like nitpick and be like, see, you can't get away from them. It's just proving how absolutely fucked society is, how disgusting capitalism is, and how they really just like basically let monopolies happen, even though we're supposed to be against that. So Amazon Web Services is a big one that I think people forget about. But this is a website. This is updated last July, so it may not even be accurate, because knowing them, they've acquired something since that time, or this list may not be complete. But Amazon has this says founded in 1984. They have a market cap, again, this was of last year, of roughly $1.56 trillion. Insane. Companies, Whole Foods, I think a lot of people know that one. That's an American-based grocery store chain that used to be like, ooh, if you wanted healthy, organic, fresh things, you go to Whole Foods. Their quality has very much declined since Amazon bought them. Zappos was in one of the most successful footwear retailers on the internet. I remember their commercials, but Amazon acquired them. They have a robotics service, apparently, that provides automated storage and retrieval systems for a variety of corporations, including Walgreens, The Gap, Staples, Office Depot, Crate and Barrel, Saks Fifth Avenue. PillPack, I hadn't heard of this one, but it's an online pharmacy based in Manchester, New Hampshire. So they bought that in 2018. And of course, because of their extensive delivery network, if you get your medication through PillPack, can be delivered very quickly. And I'm not saying that's a negative thing, because I don't use that. I use, I can't remember what I use, but I use an online pharmacy, and people getting their medication quickly is important. It just sucks that it's owned by Amazon, who has also now started their own like medical thing. I don't know. Anytime I see it, I'm like, don't recommend this to me, unsubscribe, just no. They bought Twitch, where, you know, people stream video games and stuff. They have MGM Holdings. Yes, like MGM, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer Studios. They bought that. Audible, obviously, which is the audiobook service. Goodreads. IMDb, which is the Internet Movie Database. Ring Camera. Lab 126, which is used to manufacture its own branded line of consumer electronics such as Kindle, Echo, Fire TV. Amazon Fresh is their own grocery delivery service. Abe Books, an online marketplace for books that I used to look for, you know, random books that may have been out of print. They bought that. Woot, I haven't heard of this, but it is a retailer based near Dallas, Texas, and known for special daily deals, limited offers. selling household items, electronics, and apparel. And this says, and more. They have Book Depository, which I think I talked about when that happened, which used to be like the place to go, especially if you wanted international editions. Blink, Shopbop, Cosmicology, Zero, Zooks, Fabric.com, Annapurna Labs. And again, this is just from this one article. And Amazon owns all of those. And they're always looking to acquire something else. Didn't he also buy the Wall Street Journal? I feel like he did buy at least one major newspaper publication. So in this age of time, it is very difficult to escape the claws and escape paying into the pockets of these megalomaniac billionaires. So I just think we have to have, for most things, nuance when it comes to these conversations, and don't just look at somebody using Amazon, especially if it's Kindle Unlimited or something else, and being like, you're a bad person. It's just like not going to Walmart. Some people have that luxury, but sometimes, unfortunately, Walmart has come into a lot of places and destroyed all the other businesses, and Walmart is the only place people can go. I don't think Target, not so much. Target is still, for the most part, it may be unique circumstances, but Target for the most part is not people's only option. But going to Walmart sometimes is people's only option. Or maybe if you live rurally and maybe you do have a Walmart or don't, maybe there are just things you're not able to go get. And so having something like Amazon that will deliver to you wherever you are, especially having the medication, the pharmacy business, people are going to use that. And there's all these other failings that society has done and like disrupted that make Amazon be able to come in and just buy up all of these industries that people depend on. So we just can't be like, you use Amazon bad. Not that simple. But there are alternatives for some things, like not buying your books from there, like your traditionally published books, obviously using other retailers if you can, and not using one of theirs, and especially Audible. I feel like for a long time that was really the only big one. There were some smaller ones, but they didn't always have all of the titles. But Audible, purchased by Amazon, I hate for many reasons. And I have some Audible books on my phone, not gonna lie. Obviously, but because that used to be the major one. I don't keep a subscription to them though, because I really hate, just like how KU is exclusive, Audible does the same thing with their Audible exclusives, where you can't get the audiobook from the library or any other audiobook service. It's only through Amazon, and I fucking hate that. But Audible is their audiobook service, but there is a major competitor called Libro FM. This is not an ad. I do use them. I do have a link, so I think if you use it or sign up, I get a free audiobook, but this isn't like a sponsored video. But Libro FM allows you to choose an independent bookstore, and your purchase of your audiobook, the sales will go to them instead of going to Audible. I think they're pretty comparable in price. Libro FM maybe 15, Audible I think maybe 15, 14, 15. There's maybe $1 difference. And this way you're benefiting in an independent bookstore. Now, of course, Audible is like, well, we need to compete. So when you do your Audible Premium Plus, you get the 1 credit per month, and obviously they have sales and stuff, whatever. But then you also get access to like their library of other audiobooks, because they have tiers of like the premium audiobooks that you can just apply the 1 credit for, and then they have these other ones that are basically like you can listen to. I don't know if it's limited to a certain number, because I don't have that right now, but it's like you can use this for this month, but then also you can listen to this other category of books. And there's where the competition comes in, because Audible has a new royalty model. And so this was shared, Angela sent this to me. This is by Robin Sullivan, who is the wife of Michael J. Sullivan. If you've been here a while, you know I love Michael J. Sullivan. So this is I'm reading all this information. I'll link it down below. It's on change.org if you want to sign the petition. But it's trying to convince Audible to revise its new royalty model. So I'm going to read a lot of this and put it on the screen. I'm not going to read all of it because you can go look at it yourself, because she goes into detail and shows little different things and does some math and charts. I'm not going to read all of it, but I'm going to read some of it to you. Over a year ago, Audible announced the coming of a new royalty model, and I was excited by the headline announcing increases promised, but buried in the fine print is a change, one that hurts authors and circumvents listeners' intention. In short, Audible is taking money from higher value premium titles that people pay for to give lower value plus titles in their all-you-can-listen catalog. Audible themselves describes those second-tier books as free, but when consumed with a premium title, they have a cost, and it's the authors who pay. This robbing Peter to pay Paul hurts creators who don't put their titles in the all-you-can-listen program, and it isn't aligned with how listeners expect the creators of these stories to be compensated. I proposed a tweak to this new royalty model that keeps the two membership plans separate, maintaining consistency with the value of each audiobook. But Audible hasn't agreed to make the adjustment. If writing this wrong sounds good to you, please sign the petition so we can get Audible to understand our frustration and make the change. And then so she goes, if you like detailed explanation, please read on. So they have their Plus membership that you can get, which is $7.95 a month, which grants access to thousands of titles from an all-you-can-listen library. And then the Premium Plus, which is $14.95 a month, again, which is for 1 credit. So that means you can buy an audiobook from the collection, but they also have plans that have 2 credits a month, 12 credits a year, 24 credits. But as its name implies, the Premium Plus plan also grants members access to the all-you-can-listen library. So in the current model that they have, authors of titles in the all-you-can-listen library are compensated by a one-time buyout paid by Audible. So whether no one listens to a title or millions do, the author receives a single upfront payment. Under Audible's new model, these titles will begin to earn a royalty, and I fully support that change. The problem is that under certain circumstances, the payment of that royalty doesn't come from consumers or Audible. It is taken from other authors. But it doesn't have to be that way. I'm proposing a tweak to the policy, and I've made my recommendation to top officials at Audible to no avail. With their help, we may be able to convince the powers that be to accept my proposition. So essentially, if somebody who is a premium member that you buy, you spend your $15 and get your credit, and then you listen to the all-you-can-listen library, income of one author is redirected to the other authors. Because if you're using that 1 credit to buy a book by Michael J. Sullivan, but then you go listen to the other 5 books in the all you can read. I keep wanting to say all you can eat. The all you can read category. If I have to read it again, because I don't know if she's saying they are getting the one-time buyout and royalty. That's what it sounds like. But if you're paying $15 and whatever percentage is supposed to go to Michael J. Sullivan, but now you also listen to the all-you-can-listen category, then it sounds like that percentage that should all go to Michael J. Sullivan because you bought that 1 credit for their book is now going to be spread down to these authors as well, instead of having the amount separated. So she's proposing, keep the money for the various pools separated. Any all-you-can-listen content will be compensated from Plus memberships, and the Plus member pool will be divided into 2 parts based on relative numbers consumed by Premium members and Plus members. Again, it's going into math. Y'all could go read it because I'm not... She's getting into the specifics here, which is important to break it down since she's trying to propose a major change to a major company. But she's proposing a separate structure so that people are paid fairly. And I support that, because here's the thing. It's not like, it's always these companies taking money from either the consumer or like this from the author instead of it coming from them. If you want to do that, just like you do with books, you take a loss on books. I know audio has a lot more work that goes into it, not like I'm saying with the voice actors and stuff. Then if you want to offer that, then you need to eat the cost, Amazon, not the authors. So finally, she goes, so if the all-you-can-listen titles are free for premium members, why is my favorite author paying the price for them? Another change in Audible's policy is the ability for authors to opt in their titles for the all-you-can-listen library. Note inclusion is subject to editorial review by Audible, so being added is not guaranteed. This provides authors with more options. So I also approve this part of the policy change. That said, I predict this will exacerbate the problem I'm petitioning about. Many authors already use Kindle Unlimited, which provides access to millions of ebooks. If authors follow suit for audiobooks, then the number of titles in Audible's all-you-can-listen catalog will grow exponentially. All in all, this is good for Audible and their customers. The listener gets more entertainment, and Audible benefits from higher membership retention and the ability to attract new listeners. And yet, because of the division of income from the credit, which will happen more often, it's the authors who pay the price. How is this equitable? Audible's intention was honorable to provide royalties for the all-you-can-listen titles, but its execution is, in my opinion, flawed. If we can convince Audible to make these minor tweaks, it will be truly equitable, and a policy change I proudly endorse with my full-throated support, both as a listener and a content provider. So please join me in urging Audible to make this adjustment. Sign this petition to show your support of your favorite authors. Together we can help ensure a truly equitable new royalty model from which authors will be fairly compensated. And as someone who talks about publishing and all of the imbalances and justice and everything, I just felt that was important to share here with you. Again, I'll link it below so you can read all of it and like see her like charts and math and stuff. But again, it just sounds like a corporation being like, using their power and influence to be like, yes, come here and enter your titles and all you can listen, to use that for their benefit to get more people, like she said, customer retention, but in the end screwing over some authors instead of, if they have to take a loss, taking it themselves because they have enough fucking money. Okay? And I'm sure in the big finance world, Amazon has all the businesses separate, right? Like it's not, I don't know, they don't all pay taxes together because they probably don't pay taxes in general. That's not the point. But you know they got the money. So please check that out and sign if you support that. But again, this conversation, you use Amazon bad, is very black and white. The world simply is not that way. There are changes that people can make. You can use Storygraph instead of Goodreads or Fable. Is that one? Is it still one? Right? Buying your books at an independent bookstore when you can. The whole thing about not supporting businesses is when you can, when you have the option. It's about making a different choice. Yes, this book may cost more at Barnes & Noble, but I know that I'm not supporting Amazon and the way they can lower the cost of books. Yes, I'm gonna order this thing directly from this small business. I may have to pay $5 more because of shipping, and it may take a few more days, but I know I'm doing that. That business owner is getting more money, you know, yada, yada, yada. But when it's not fair when it's not a choice, when you don't have options. And for some things, sure, we don't need, but some things, medicine, could be toilet paper, diapers or something. You don't have a car, you live in rural America, it's a 45-minute drive to a Walmart. It may be the most economical thing for you to get diapers or to get something delivered to your house from Amazon. So let's just have a little compassion, okay? We are all suffering under billionaires. We are all suffering. So if we cannot point the finger at each other, that could help. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Or were there any companies by Amazon that they owned that I missed? I will not be surprised if there are. And were you shocked by any of these companies that Amazon owned? I didn't know about the pill company, but not surprised. So thanks for watching. Stay blessed, hydrated, moisturized, and sunscreen. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.